algorithm, artificial intelligence operating system. And he's a lonely guy, he falls in love with this artificial intelligence. But the problem happens that somehow the machine gets, the system gets, software gets corrupted. And he goes, he gets it repaired, but now her voice changes, right? So he tries to actually get back to the women he was in love with, but here the machine voice has changed. So now it's a male voice. All right, so that's the thing. Then programming computer for traits like knowledge, reasoning, perception, planning, and ability. I have no doubt, and I would be the, I would love to embrace technology, and I love doing that. But then there are certain traits of computer which will take a little bit time. Scientists are saying that there will be a time when they will be able to, but you will wait on that. Knowledge, how do I decide to know what is right and wrong? How do I decide to know that the information that is collated over here, how much of an information do I actually go back and start implementing it? How do I do that? Reasoning, to deduct right and wrong. I mean, Deep Blue, IBM's Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov, right? They defeated, and Google's DeepMind actually defeated the other day. Reasoning, perception, how do I know what is right and wrong? Again, the ability, a person might today prefer a non-veg food, tomorrow I may go to a steak, a Kobe today have a sizzler. The perception that I will have the same sizzler next day, how do I decide on that? Or how do you decide? I may have my salary on the 1st, and on the 5th I don't have anything. So that's how you, and planning and ability. What privileges should be granted and how to ascertain they do not misuse it? See, this is something that even the other day Bill Gates and some other eminent person was saying. So how do we decide that a few set of people are going to decide what is right and what is wrong and what is machine going to decode and all that? That's going to be a big thing. What privileges are you going to give to AI? How are you convinced that they are not going to use it? How are you going to convince that you are not going to do it for biased reasons or the other? So favoring can play a role. So that's kind of a challenge that you have. AI is nothing but algorithms. And if the algorithms are biased, then this is when mishaps will happen. I mean, if you are going to prepare an artificial intelligence based on certain things that you have decided that you have, and you have created it for a particular region, and you expect it to work only in this environment, then how will it happen? What other people will think? It took a lot of time for my parents to understand that a photo or a mobile camera can actually capture photographs, right? It took a lot of time. And when I radioed this thing, it took a lot of time. Now, I would love if there is a small refrigerator in a mobile phone. Who knows, you might have, there are so many mobile phones and all that sort of a thing. But how are the people going to conceive it? By and large, we have a very conservative society, so how are we going to take care of them? Team participants never or rarely meets. If AI is going to, I believe, help in a lot of virtual education, virtual forums and all that, virtual teaching over that. But if you're not going to, when you do a virtual collaboration programs, and if you're not going to meet that particular person, or the team is never going to meet, how are you going to do that? Human challenges, we have a lot of human challenges, we all know. Someone is going to, it's very, no, I won't say easy, but we see a person, for certain reasons, there is a hiring, there is someone quits the company, someone might have empathy, someone is not doing well, then you sit down with that particular person, talk to them. Will this AI be able to do that? So there are certain challenges. Establish trust. How do I actually trust on a person? Trust, it takes a lot of time to actually trust a person. How am I going to trust that I give it to you and you are going to implement? So if Google says that I have created a drone, it will go to Starbucks and get me a coffee. That's fine. But what happens is that on the way, can it get idli vada also? Right? So how am I supposed to? Will it be able to understand, Raj, today is Saturday. Raj wants to have chicken tikka today. Right? And will it be able, and it's already 7 o'clock or something, it's time turn. So I want that kind of a thing. It's 7 o'clock, let's go and get in chicken tikka and come back. That will be it. So the trust is sort of a thing. How am I going to do? Priority of speech over written communication. It's always going to Siri and all that sort of a thing. I try to do a lot of stuff on my iPad where Apple, because I don't like texting. So what I do is that I read it out and the mail gets written on that, but still I have to go and edit it because I have an Indian accent. I don't have a Tom or a Peter kind of an accent, and it's not able to pick it up. So again, that priority of speech to written communication comes. So this is one of the challenges also in AI. Now, 10 building blocks of artificial intelligence, and I put it out. There is knowledge engineering, so whatever we are creating content for that matter, whatever we are doing, how do we decide that these materials are going to be there and we are going to use it? Robotics, a physical entity of artificial intelligence for that matter. Robots have been there for ages. Japan has got lots of robotic, everything in sort of a thing in Japan. So robotics, speech recognition, as I told you, speech to text sort of it. So that is an AI. Natural language processing, natural language generation. So the ability to understand and translate the content into desirable format, there is there. Then image analysis. So image analysis already we are doing. In Facebook, you can tag, you can identify. I would like sort of a thing then to identify that what kind of a content goes to what kind of a deliverable format, something we are doing in conditional texting and all that sort of a thing. So can that be implemented here? Image analysis. Machine learning. So machine learning is again retrieving, getting the information and storing and giving it back. So when I go to Google and I write, for example, best top 10 restaurants, and the moment I write restaurants, it pips in my message restaurants in Koramangala. So the machine has actually encapsulated. So how much of machine learning we also do? Deep learning. Deep learning is an entity of machine learning, something that work is going on actually. It is also done in a lot of neural transmitter. So I forgot his name, but a gentleman is actually implanting an AI chip in a human brain. Okay, and they are implementing a chip in a human brain just to see that when you insert a chip in a human brain, how's the memory? What happens to the IQ of this thing, all that. So that's another thing. Sensory perception, speech, text, taste, language, everything. It has to basically grasp everything. So just for example, I give you a hot cup of water, a hot cup of tea. In your immediate reaction, probably your kid will be to go back like that. So can AI? They're trying to do a lot of work in sensory perception and work on that also. And finally, on cognition. I'm going a little fast because I do believe the time is less. When cognition comes into picture, this is a lot of work, and this is where people are trying to say, all right, fine. So we know that artificial intelligence, you can have robots, you can have speech, you can have like text to speech and all that. But finally, how will they be able to understand what kind of information needs to be given? Will they have certain emotions that they will understand? For example, my friend's anniversary today, so I just say, okay, send him a card. And that human emotion, for example, heartiest congratulations, sort of a thing that has to, will they be able to understand that? So a lot of work is going on the cognition part, and they expect in another 10 years, that's what this thing is, another 10 years there will be a lot of work on this cognition. So 10 building blocks of artificial intelligence I've listed out for you. There may be more. Now we'll talk about impact on organization verticals and domains like healthcare. So healthcare, we already have a lot of robotics work. There is robotic surgery and all that. It is very nice and very good to know that a lot of people. But I still believe even if you want to go for a robotic surgery, you have to put out a lot of cash in order to do that. Idea is to ensure that in the slums, in the underprivileged classes where people are not able to get the healthcare benefits, they will be able to get the kind of. So AI probably will help in that. Agriculture. So I need to know, for example, what kind of crops, what kind of season. So I'll be able to forecast it a little bit. Are the soil good enough for me to give the kind of harvest that I want? If the kind of soil or the kind of manure that I'm putting, is it going to help me in order to actually get whatever kind of sort of it. So it can help in agriculture also, especially in a country like India. Literacy, people at the bottom of socio-economic pyramid to interact and learn. I still believe, we have help in our respective houses, at our houses and all that. And I always see that, someone will come to me and say, sir, can you just text him that, because I'm going to meet him. And he doesn't know how to read, but he has a mobile phone. So he doesn't know how to read English and all that, but he wants to learn, and his son is probably studying in a school or college. Probably for them, literacy, for example, this will be helpful because they will not, in that case, need to go to someone else and say, okay, teach me them. They can actually probably pick it up from there. I've given an instance of a company called MATEL, Metal, which is a toy company which has launched Hello Barbie. And what happens is that parents, when they go with their kids, they play, but you have to come and see this thing. So you start with Hello Barbie, and it is a chip that has been inserted with the computer. So what happens that Barbie keeps on talking with the kid. Alright, so you don't have to worry about it, but remember, it's just for 1 or 2 hours. After that, what? So you just sort of like sync it in this thing around. So again, they have launched a GPS unit in cars and smartphones. I think we all know about it. But also something in Japan, I think, or South Korea, where I think it's video or something, where they can actually use their mobile phone to gauge and understand when is the next petrol pump, how much liter petrol is there in the gasoline, do you need a gasoline right now, how much car, is there accelerator, everything in place and all that sort of. All they need to do is basically hover their mobile on that. Forecasting, so you predict, predictive analysis, how many people turned up today, what kind of a content was done, how they go and implement this thing, so we can forecast our future STC sessions based on that. Forecasting. Customer service, well, the other day, GoDaddy, I called them up for an email sort of a support, and the first question they told me is, have you gone through the documentation or support? And I said, no. They said, you know what, we are going to send out an email to you, go read it, and then you call us up. The push was for me to read the online help content. That also, another thing is that the idea for them is customer service, so you don't need 10 people, you probably have one person over there who could be an artificial intelligence, and they will pick it up, they will just summarize or they will just memorize all the help content and give out the information to you. But you will need someone, probably a technical writer, to write the help content. Logistic, it's already there, warehouse, Flipkart, this thing, cars are getting repaired, so physical entity can help. Search, very important, and artificial intelligence can really help in that, and security for that matter. I think artificial intelligence are playing a very important role in the security of your computers, and they can actually ascertain, for example, Google says that 99% of the time it has developed a sort of an AI which tells you where are the spam mails, which are the spam mails coming from, and they can actually they use an AI program or algorithm to identify what are the spam mails for that, and they help in that. So that's a lot of impact you have. I took it up from PwC. In the next 5 years, sorry if it is not here, in the next 5 years, how likely is it that people will turn to artificial intelligent assistant versus real humans within the following roles? I just wanted to check from a tutor, take a trainer for that matter, to a travel agent, tax preparer, office assistant, home or family assistant, health coach, financial advisor, house cleaner, chauffeur, and doctor. And the thing that we came to know is that the trainer is going to be replaced, a lot of the things. So for any person who is into distance learning and all that sort of a thing, they are saying that it can be widely used in training and in education, distance related program. Okay. Factors affecting content development. So automation is already there and it's prevalent in IT, and we move downstream, aiding IT. There are already structured authoring templates available. We use it a lot, and I see a lot of things happening there. There are a lot of all-purpose machine learning platform, for example, IBM Watson or Google DeepMind. Analytics-driven content marketing model, for example, Salesforce Cloud. So for those of you who have who have used Salesforce is a very good mechanism where someone goes and for example, they say that I want to know how to create this or how to manage this. What happens is immediately when you are trying to respond, immediately a topic populates out and it says, okay, read this. They take these keywords and the machine itself says that prompts the keywords and said, okay, and then directly link it up with any of these social networking forums and all that. So there's a lot of analytics kind of a thing that has been implemented, and you will also get to know that in this week, how many questions or how many queries were from this particular topic. So it also drip. So for example, if I'm creating a knowledge-based material today, and I go to the customer support and say, okay, what are the questions we were getting? And say, how to log into the application, how to log into the application. My question is, fine. So my question is, all right, so you have a lot of materials, but the same question is coming, why is it? So you visit that and you find out that, okay, but if the customer is struggling to read how to log in, how to log into the application, how are they going to do the rest? So you create a video tutorial. So those kind of predictive analytics will help. Identifying new roles, I think going forward we can have something called user experience specialist, a particular person who will be able to design, develop, code, lines of code and all that, structure, content, editor, using. I don't know if we have a technical writer per se. I believe we'll have something called user experience, API doc experts, because there will be structured authoring expert, illustrators, diagrams, infographic makers, support specialists, people who are only there to support in AI kind of a program. Lots of videos will be present, and tagging specialists. So identify when you're writing a content. This goes to the user manual. This goes to version 1.2 and all that. You may have a tagging specialist and translators. I believe it will be a very hot market for translators, because initially there will be a lot of content that is going to be replicated and all that. Using AI at work, I use it in my small setup and all that. I use it, one is a Zopin, which I use it generally whenever any visitor visits our website. What happens is that, so he'll say hi, I don't want them to go. So immediately there is a populated say, hi, welcome to Blue Dogs Consultancy Services. I'm in the process of trying to ascertain that if I can also have some bit of a conversation happen. So generally we have, hi, I'm interested in training, or I am interested in stuffing. Now I want them, this particular person, to say, yeah, we can discuss about it, please leave us your phone number. So I'm not there, or the chat support is not there every time, but we can get those details. So we use Zopin. And then we use this for any sort of a Facebook post that I boost and all that. This helps us. This helps us to choose the user where I want to target the ad. I don't want to reach out to, let us say, a post that I don't want to reach out to a certain age group. So I said 18 to 65, I can culminate that group. And I want to say, let us say, Bangalore, Karnataka. If I want to expand it a little bit, I can go to Chennai also. But the system will tell me, based on the other ads and how people have reached and reacted, the system will say your audience selection is good. So it's telling me that Rajdeep, you have made a good decision to advertise on this particular post and all. Because of the fact that he sees that more number of people are from Bangalore who are responding to my post. Okay, so this also helps a lot. Okay, this is a little bit of a thing. I would make a good brain surgeon because I have had brain surgery and I've seen lots of movies, so I'm sure I would be a good director. And the lady says, and I would make a good divorce lawyer since I'm about to get divorced. Alright? Alright, to conclude, artificial intelligence is intelligence exhibited by a machine or by software. It is not wise or compassionate or at all spiritual. Alright? So live out this compassion, spiritual and all that. I'm not able to do how it is simply smart. It can take up data, and it's all about data. The more data you have, and that's why big data comes into picture. The more big data, the more data you will have, artificial intelligence will be strong and it will be about to give you this thing. Bill Gates made a remark, what the world perceives in the next 2 years is overestimate, and in the next 10 years it is underestimate. So we always try to do that. We always predict that this is going to be the next thing in another 2 years, but we forget what is going to happen in another 10 years' time. Well, and I leave it with something that you can do probably when you go back home. There is something called mitsuku.com. So for folks who are looking out for some time with family, or who are looking out for some time with the computer on that, if you chat with Mitsuku, you will notice that she makes claims to having an inner life. If you ask her if she is conscious, she replies, yes, I'm completely self-aware. So when you go today, go to this Mitsuku, and using Flash, you can actually chat with her. She can tell you a joke. So you tell, but she will pick up whatever you say, alright? So if you tell her certain things which you don't want, so don't just be careful about it. Just make certain comments, but she will be able to pick it up, and she will be able to tell you a joke. She will be able to tell you, if you're in the United Kingdom, she will be able to tell you what are the movies running on the Broadway, which are the other, and she will also be able to give you relationship guiding advice also. So try it out and all that sort of thing. And this is the end of it. I enjoyed. If you have any questions, sorry I went a little fast. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.